Hi everyone, we are back with another video on the heart, and this video is going to talk about some foods that are really good for your heart. I'm going to get into something called chakras and just some information that was collected for statistics, just to kind of put things in perspective. Heart disease is the #1 killer globally. A study back in 2015, so it's a bit dated, there were 18 million people who died, and a third of those deaths were all heart-related issue. So that's pretty crazy, a third of all deaths, and it's the #1 killer globally. So the CDC considers these to be risk factors for having heart disease or heart issues. High blood pressure, obviously you're putting extra stress on the heart, that makes sense, right? High cholesterol, smoking, diabetes, being overweight. Any extra weight that your body, your frame has to carry is going to stress your system. It's going to make your heart work harder. It's going to make your muscles and your bones have to support more and more weight. So being overweight is something that definitely stresses your body out and obviously affects your heart. Also, your diet. So what you're eating is important. That's very true for all the areas of your life, right? What you're eating is important. How much alcohol you're consuming. So if you're having a lot of alcohol, you're stressing out your heart. You're also stressing out your liver, and being inactive or not moving often. So like a couch potato, or if you're a gamer and you like to sit for hours without moving much, just a few motions here, or if you're stuck on your phone, all of those things where you're not moving are not good for your heart. So they're just kind of things to look out for. And if you have some of those issues, maybe you want to work through those, talk to your doctor, talk to close friends, see what you can work out to make yourself better, because small changes over time make huge results. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is something called chakras. So your body is full of frequencies, and it's kind of like, if you think about a currency, like a current, like an electric current running through the wires, basically. And these currencies, or these not currencies, this frequency is has different points where they kind of all end up, and these are called chakras. And you have a heart chakras. They're considered an energy center where these lines are lining up. Your heart chakra is like right about here, and you have 3 chakras above your heart and 3 chakras below. So you have 7 chakras in your body total. The heart chakra, center of your chest, and it's how you give and receive love. So that makes sense, right? The heart chakra. And the organs and structures that are connected to this energy point are your heart, obviously, your lungs, your thymus gland, which is really important in your immune system. So if you are having issues, you may have an energy blockage. So if you think of energy like cars driving down the road, you want that current to be running freely. And there's never a problem unless there is a traffic jam and all the cars have to stop, right? Then no one's going anywhere. There's no movement. And whenever there's no movement, that's when there can be problems and issues can arise. And they've actually done studies that connect energy blockages or emotional blockages with physical problems. So if your energies are not moving the way they're supposed to be moving in your body, it could potentially cause other problems down the line. So that's pretty interesting. So if you want to look up more information on chakras, I have lots of information in my group, Toxin-Free Living. You can just comment a little heart below and I will hook you up with that group gladly. There's lots of information about chakras, but I just wanted to kind of mention them in this video, not to overwhelm you or get too deep. Some essential oils that are good for the heart chakra are lemon, rose. The rose oil actually helps to balance the heart chakra. Lavender, which is a great oil to use for many, many, many things, right? And of course, it's good for the heart. Cedarwood and pine. Cedarwood and pine are those tree oils. So remember, they're emotionally grounding. Just think of the roots holding the tree in the ground. So they are great for balancing out your heart chakra and just helping support your heart. Other ways that you can balance your heart chakra and help your heart out are to sit outside. Remember, being outside in nature has lots of benefits, right? You can sit there and relax. It's just very peaceful. If you're barefoot and your feet are touching the ground, then you can be getting those negative ions from the earth, which is super important. We have so many things in our lives right now. This device that you're watching this video from is transmitting, I guess you would call it, positive ions to your body. And our positive and negative ions are very important. And we have a lot of positive ones in our life. And you would think positive, that it would be good, but it's not good for your body. You actually want negative. And the earth naturally gives you negative ions if you're barefoot. The soles in our shoes, that rubber just stops that transmission right there. So whenever you can, be barefoot outside in the grass, walking around any kind of earth surface. So it doesn't count, obviously, if you're walking on like pavement or like, pavement. If your driveway, you want to get out in the grass and touch the ground with the bottom of your feet. That's a natural way to get it. So being outside. Grounding is what I just talked about. Hugs are actually really good for your heart, and they're good for helping your heart chakra balance. Sometimes you can tell when someone really wants a hug, and sometimes you can tell when it's forced, right? That energy is just not the same. So a nice mutual hug is great for your heart. And then writing positive affirmations. Affirmations are statements that you speak over yourself as if they are true, even if they're not. So if you are, maybe you're like me and you're a stay-at-home mom and your life is chaotic and you want to have more patience, you would say, I am a patient mother, even if you don't feel like you are, because you're training your brain and you're constantly giving it this thought that you are patient, and your brain cannot lie. It cannot understand something that is not true. Like if you're saying it, it's going to make it true. So it's like that self-fulfilling prophecy. So if you say, I am a patient mother over and over and over again, you're going to start to believe it, and your brain is going to make it happen. So that's how cool the body is, right? That God just works the brain out that way. It's fascinating. I love learning about the body. Another way to balance your heart chakra is to do a yoga pose called the Cobra pose. So I am not going to show you this, but I can try and describe it. You basically lay on your belly and then you push up on your arms. So your arms are completely straight. So your feet and your legs are like this, and then your back curves up and your head is sitting up like this. So a Cobra pose is very balancing for the heart chakra. Now, there are some foods that are good for your heart. There are tons and tons of lists. I just picked the ones that I thought would be the most readily available and the things that I thought people would enjoy consuming. The first one is asparagus. Berries are really good for your heart. Beans, lentils, broccoli, chia seeds and flax seeds, dark chocolate, green tea, spinach, oatmeal, nuts, and liver. If you love liver, that is awesome. I have tried to sneak it in so many recipes, and if you have a great recipe for liver, I would love to know what it is, because I haven't found one that my family will eat yet. I have tried mixing it with ground beef. I've actually even frozen raw liver and busted up in little pieces and taken it like that, because that's a way to get vitamin C when the liver is not cooked. That is another video for another time. Sally Fallon has lots of great ideas for not typical like diet. Not even going to say diet, different ways to get nutrients into your body, and just a different way of looking at food and feeding your body in general. So that's it for this week. I hope that was helpful. And if you have any questions, feel free to message me or drop them in the comments. And I look forward to seeing you next week.